Okay, so without much introduction and wasting of time, I am directly going into the topic. And the idea behind this project, this webinar, is actually to motivate some of the teachers so that they will be applying for grant. So and with the grant that the teachers are bringing, the facilities of the college can also be improved. Now, before we go into the details, let me start with some of the important reasons why teachers are not applying. There are, when I was thinking about the important reasons, what I felt was this may be the three important reasons. Most of me may be thinking that this is very difficult for, is too difficult. And some may be thinking that even if I apply, I am not going to get. And some may be thinking that these are complicated things and not for me. So these are some of the major reasons why teachers are not applying for the project. So it's too difficult. So now my purpose or is my intention is to give you some idea, give you some shortcuts by which you will be able to secure a funded project. Now, going to the responsibilities, I will tell you. And if when NAC people are coming, they always ask three different things from us. One, they will expect what are the things you have done in teaching field. Then they will also ask you what are the things we have done in research area. Then they will ask you about our activities in extension. Now, out of these three basic responsibilities of a teacher, if you are skipping this responsibility, the teaching responsibility, the students will be immediately complaining. The principal and the management will be immediately taking the action. Now, if you are skipping and the research activity, nobody is going to complain. Students won't be complaining. Even if principal asks you, he will be asking only very politely, why can't you send an application, why can't you apply for a research guideship, only such a thing, that only in a very polite way. Nobody is going to compel you. And extension activities we have to do in a limited way because we have NCC, NSS, and Women's Forum, and lot of other wings are there. So every teacher will be somehow will be involved in any kind of extension activities. The only work we can skip is the research. That is why research is always a under priority for most of the teachers. Now, before going into the research, I will tell you why we should apply. There are two important reasons why we should apply. If you, as earlier I was telling you about the extension activities, some of the, because our NCC, NSS, and other wings are doing lot of extension activities like constructing houses, offering medical assistance. But these kind of extension activities can be done by any group of people in any of the society. For example, a group of bank employees, or group of government employees, or group of people in a cooperative society, or in a church, or in a temple. They all can do these kind of extension activities. But coming to research, if any of these groups of people are trying, they cannot even get even 1 rupee of research funding from the government of India. That is available only for the teachers. No other group can avail even 1 rupee of research funding from any government agency. Government will only give it to a faculty of a university or college or a scientist of a research institute. So that is one important responsibility. It's an obligation of the teacher. Then another thing I had felt is that every time we are bringing a research funding, it not only help a few research scholars, it will be also improving the facilities of the department. What I have seen in my department is that I have established a research lab. Now the degree students of our department, when they are doing their project, they are regularly visiting my lab, and they are taking whatever facilities I have established with the help of this project. They are utilizing many of the expensive equipment they may not be able to use otherwise. So when we are bringing a project, it is also improving the facilities of our department. If you want to get certain expensive equipment, research funding is the only way. So that is another advantage of bringing research fund. So I think these are the two major reasons why we should apply. Now, before when I was preparing this slide, I made a search on the website of many of the important colleges of Kerala. And what I found is that these are the important funding agency which had provided research funding to the teachers of to the college teachers in Kerala as well as to the university teachers. And what I found is that 99% of the research support has been provided by these first four agencies: UGC, ICSSR, KSCST, and DST SERB. These are the four major agencies, and they contribute 99% of the funding. So, in my talk, I therefore want to focus on these major funding agency, because only if we send a proposal to this major funding agency, we have a chance of getting a research fund. Other agencies provide some support, but they are not. We cannot depend on as much as we can depend on as DST or UGC or KSST. Now, there in addition to that, there are so many international funding agency. But from my experience, whenever we send a letter, whenever send a proposal to an international funding agency, usually at the end of waiting for 5 months or 6 months or sometimes 1 year, this is what we are going to get. They will very politely say that you are not your proposal is not able to fund. Sometimes they will have their own reason. You can go to, this is a letter I got from a funding agency in Saudi Arabia, and they very politely said we don't have money. That is not because your application is not good. Your application is so good, but still we are not in a position to fund. So that in a very polite way, they will send that you are not eligible. So when first I received this kind of letters, I thought how nice these foreign people are. They, even if they are not giving, they are telling very politely, very nicely that you can still apply. But this is not the way our Indian funding agency says that. What Indian funding agencies are saying is that they very bluntly say that your application is rejected, with a hidden message that please don't apply again. Or they will say that you are not eligible for funding. Then you are not meeting the basic criteria of funding. You don't have the basic eligibility for funding. So when we get this kind of message, this kind of reply, what most of us are doing is that we will not send an application again. With that, we will stop. And this will be the experience of many of you. And what I learned from my experience is that even if they send a rejection letter, that keep sending them, keep applying for them. If it is like taking a lottery ticket, but the people who are taking lottery ticket, they take lottery ticket every month. So that like that, if you are applying every year, if you are following a pattern of sending application for 4 or 5 years regularly, definitely you will get a fund. So this is what most of us are not doing. So let me start with the main areas of my presentation. I have prepared my slide focusing on two aspects. In the first part, I will be discussing what are the major funding agencies, especially the schemes of the first four funding agency. Because what I am saying about these four funding agency will give you some fund. Because from the experience of most of the teachers, we can say that the chance of getting a research funding is always around 10%, sometimes less than 10%. Now, if you are applying for an international grant funding agency, I will say it is only 1%. Now, regarding these four funding agency, even if they send you such kind of reply, I think if they good proposal, you will have 25% chance of getting a research support. So that is why I advise you to send application to these four national funding agencies first. It's because securing a fund from them is much more easier than securing fund from other agencies. Now we will start with some of the major funding agency. In the case of India, the best funding agency that is present in India is the DST SERB. There is no doubt that is the best funding agency. Other funding agency won't reach anywhere near the professional of DST. Now DST has a lot of schemes. Now going to the important schemes of DST, I have listed here, and what I have listed in bold letters are the useful schemes that you teachers can apply. To begin with, they have a scheme called Startup Research Grant. Now, going to the Startup Research Grant, this is a research grant which can be which we can apply within 2 years of joining an institution. So many of the teachers don't know this. This is one of the easiest grant to get because compared with all other grants of CRP, startup grant is the easiest grant to get. If you have a good research background and if you are sending it before 2 years of joining your institution, definitely you have high chance of getting because you don't have much competition. That is the advantage of sending a startup research grant. Now they will provide you an amount up to 30 lakhs. The scheme of the startup research grant is same as in the use of other research grant. There will be a fellow also, but up to 30 lakhs you can get. And the duration of this scheme, usually the duration of most of the major research schemes are 3 years. In the use of startup research grant, it is 2 years. But here there is again a time limit, there is an age limit. The age limit for startup research grant is 42 years. So you should join before 40 because in India, in Kerala, the 40 is the age limit. For in certain cases, it can go up to 42 years. So 42 is the upper age limit for startup research grant. So if you have any younger faculty in your department, send them, give them an advice that please apply for this startup research grant. That is the easiest grant to get because if they have good number of publication, definitely they have good chance of getting that. Now the most important grant, the most important scheme of the SCRB is actually core research grant. This is the basic research grant of DST. Now, earlier it was known as extramural research grant. Now it is renamed as core research grant or CRG. Now, basically, this scheme is a 3-year scheme. There is no limit of funding. They can give you 50 lakhs or up to 1 crore or sometimes more than that. There is no financial limit. Now, in the use of this core research grant, and this you can send application any topic. Now, most of the time, regarding most of the other funding agency, they will have their own priority areas. You cannot send an application. You cannot send a proposal to other funding agency in sometimes in your area of interest because they have their own selected area. In only in such selected area we can apply. But for CRG, there is no such a limitation. If your proposal is good, they will definitely fund. And they will always fund our such proposal in basic area, basic sciences, because most of the other funding agencies are only funding proposals in applied science. The very few funding agencies are funding proposals in basic science. So CRG is the best scheme, and if you have the experience of applying for a CRG, you don't need to even send one paper to the DST. It is completely online. The sending the application is online, sending the financial records or audited statements are online, and sending even the final report is also online. But with regard to other funding agency, this is not the case. For example, if you go to Kerala State Science Committee on Science, Technology and Environment, KSSTE, earlier which we call as TEC, we have to send 10 applications. And for ICAR, we have to send 12 applications. Some funding agency may ask you to send 20 copies of your application. So these kind of difficulties are there. So if you, for example, if your proposal is 20 page long, then you have to take printout of 200 pages. I don't know what is the need of such multiple copies of application which can be easily, so when with a PDF we can send it to as many people, expanding expert. But that is these funding agencies are still following that old system. But DST is completely different, and that is why I told you DST is the best. If you ask me to rank DST, if I give 10 points to DST, I'll give only 2 points to other funding agency. So that difference is there. So if you want to get a fund, always try for DST SERB fund, because that is the best funding agency. They will give, if they give you the grant, they will give you the complete money. because in my experience during they will release the first installment, and usually other funding agency, what happens is they will never release the second installment and third installment in time. There will be long delay, sometimes 1 year, sometimes more than 1 year. So when such a long delays are coming, it will be seriously affecting the progress of your research. But with regard to DST, there is no such problem, and DSTs are managed by scientists. And because of that, there is high level of professionalism in the way DST is carrying out the activities. So that is why I told you that if you want to send an application, first send it to DST, and there is other there is a good chance, if your proposal is good, there is a good chance that you will get fund. Then they have all the basically the basic research scheme is the CRG. Other schemes are actually targeting different groups of people. For example, another scheme called the Empowerment and Equity Opportunities for Excellence in Science. This is basically a CRG like scheme, but it is targeting SC/ST faculty or SC/ST faculty. But that is only difference. Other than that, going to the nature, duration, and of the scheme. But here there is a financial limit. Only up to 50 lakhs you will get. But CRG doesn't have any such a financial limit. But here this is a scheme targeting only SC/ST faculties. You can get up to 50 lakhs plus overhead, and the duration is also same. Now, similarly, there is another scheme of the DST that is known as SCRB Power, SCRB Power Grant. Thus, it is also like a CRG grant, but it is targeting women faculty. So that is the only difference. So the power means promoting opportunity for women in exploratory research. That is the full form of the power. Now, in the use of power grant, they have two levels of that. The first level is that level 1. In the use of level 1, they will be providing funding up to 60 lakhs, and the duration is also 3 years. But the problem with the level 1 is that the college teachers cannot apply for level 1 funding. It is only available for faculty of IIT, IISER, Central University, or national labs. We cannot apply for the funding in the level 1 scheme. So that is, but there is second level known as a level 2. Level 2 offer a financial support up to 30 lakhs, and the duration is also 3 years. So in the use of for the women faculty, they have a greater chance of winning a project if they are applying for a power grant, because there will be less competition. So that is that. Other than that, the other features of the scheme are basically similar to the CRG. That is, I told you that the basic the funding, the basic scheme of a SERB is actually CRG. All other funding schemes are actually modified version of CRG, targeting certain special groups of people. Now, in the use of the level 2, I told you that the funding is only up to 30 lakhs. Now, the teachers from state university, colleges, or private academic can apply. Now, there are two ways by which you can apply for this level 2 funding. One is a direct application. That is, we can directly apply for under the power grant scheme in an online manner. And there is another mechanism by which you can apply for the power grant. That is the second stream, in which you send an application to the CRG project. If you couldn't get a sanction under the CRG scheme, you will be automatically considered under the power grant, under the stream 2 of the power grant. So there are two mechanisms by which you can send an application. One is directly applying for the power grant. The second method is you are not applying for the power grant. You are only applying for the CRG. If you did not get a funding under the CRG scheme, if you are a woman, you will be automatically considered for funding under the CRG scheme. That is a stream 2 of the CRG. But there is a limit for funding that is up to 30 lakhs. But in the case of CRG, there is no such limit. You can get as much amount as more than 1 crore also you can get. Now there is another fellowship of under the power. Power grant has two type of scheme. One is power grant, other is a power fellowship. In this power fellowship, they will be offering a fellowship of 15,000 Here you can see the a fellowship of 15, not 50,000, 15,000 per month in addition to your regular salary. So that is an advantage of Power Fellowship. And every year you will get a research grant of 10 lakhs. So for 3 years you are still will still be able to get 30 lakhs for a period of 3 years. Now this Power Fellowship is also available to faculty members, women faculty members, but here the up to the age of 55 you can apply. So it's from 35 to 55. The age limit should be between 35 and 55. So it is actually targeting the women faculty of the colleges. So these are the two schemes which are very useful for women faculty members of any college. Now that is regarding the power scheme. Now I will tell you about few more scheme. Then there is international travel support, about which I will tell you in another section. Now there is another scheme called a National Postdoctoral Fellowship. Actually, this National Postdoctoral Fellowship is known as NPDF. Now, in the use of NPDF, in the use of NPDF, they will giving a grant of up to 50,000. That is the amount they are offering under the NPDF. But age limit is you have to apply before the age of 35. Now, in addition to the regular fellowship of 55,000 per month, they will give you a research grant of 2 lakhs per year and plus 1 lakh as overhead. That means every year you will be getting 3 lakhs for a period of 2 years. So, NPDF or National Postdoctoral Fellowship will be offering you 6 lakhs as total research funding. Plus, they will be giving 55,000 per month as a fellowship amount. Now, if you are not finished the PhD, you will be only eligible for a fellowship of 35,000. That is the nature of because those who have completed the PhD can apply for this scheme. But you should have sufficient number of good publication. Without good publication, it is very difficult to get a national NPDF. Now, one important scheme which is very good for teachers is the TAIR. Here you can see the TAIR. Here you can see the TAIR. Here is a Teacher Association for Research Excellence. But this is a very good scheme actually, and this is mainly targeting teachers of 40. The age limit is 45 years, plus 5 years for normal reserve for the 5 years for reservation category. Now it is mainly targeting the faculty members of your colleges and universities. Now, one important advantage of this TAIR scheme is that it is more easier to get TAIR fellowship because it is primarily targeting the college teacher. There will not be any competition from other scientists from other areas. Now, when we are applying for a TAIR fellowship, it is like a normal fellowship scheme. You can work in your college, but every year you have to spend a minimum 90 days in another institute under a mentor. And then mentor should be of scientist E or associate professor. So this is one important problem and when we are finding, because it is very difficult to find a mentor of scientist E or associate professor. And there is one more condition, it has to be from a central institution. So that is where the problem usually comes, because we may not have enough number of central institutions nearby. So if we have a central institution nearby, and if you can find out a mentor of the level of scientist E or at the level of associate professor, you can definitely apply for this scheme, and they will give you funding of 10 lakhs. That is not 10 lakhs, and they'll give you a total funding of 10 lakhs. 5 lakhs to your home or your institution, and 5 lakh to the institution where you are going to carry out your research. But the difficulty with this TAIR fellowship is that finding a person also in the rank of associate professor or scientist may not be always easy, because you know that central research institutions are very rare. In the use of we have only one central university in Kerala, that is Kasaragod, and there are very few central institutes in Kerala, and many of them are in fisheries area. So it's not easy to apply for a, because when I applied for this TAIR fellowship, my application got rejected. The problem was that I sent an application and with the zoological survey at Kozhikode, and the person and the mentor I selected was the director of that institute. But even though he was the director, he was not the scientist. But even he has completed all the required number of years, but they have not given the official promotion. And because of that, he told me in the beginning that there is less chance because I am still not scientist. And because of that, they rejected my application. So when you are applying for that, this is one difficulty we will be facing when we are applying for TAIR fellowship. But if you have any person who is nearby, try to apply for this funding and the TAIR scheme. It is very good. It's a very good scheme. There will be less competition from other people of other areas. That is and because it is primarily targeting the teachers of the college. So that is the so, and you can work in the college, but every year you have to spend minimum 3 months, 3 months in another research institution. If the institution is nearby, it is very good. But if institution is in another state, well, then it will be little difficult. But that is so TAIR scheme is primarily targeting the teachers of the college. Now another scheme is that, as I earlier told you, was a Women Power Fellowship. So these are the major schemes of the SR where you can apply. Now there are a lot of other funding mechanisms, funding schemes are there, and these other funding mechanisms are not easy. Still, I will tell you a brief. I'll give you a brief outline. For example, Ramanujan Fellowship. The purpose of Ramanujan Fellowship is to brilliant Indian scientists who are working abroad to come and do research. They will give you a financial support fellowship of 1,35,000 each month. So that is regarding Ramanujan Fellowship, which it is not easy to apply. Then J.C. Bose Fellowship, you have to be a person of outstanding performance, like you must have got a Bhatnagar Prize. Then only, or you should be a fellow of science academies. Only then you can apply for J.C. Bose Fellowship. Then there is a Women Excellence Award. Then there also you should have a recognition from any of the National Science Academy. That is the prop. So these are the schemes which are not suitable for most of the college teachers. Then overseas visiting doctoral fellowship. This is targeting the PhD students. If a student is working in any university of India can visit a foreign university, and they will be giving a fund up to $2,000 each year, each month. Each month you will get a research fellowship of 2,000 for a limited number of months. Then there is another scheme is the profound supra scientific and useful. You have to make a significant breakthrough in certain areas of science. Then only you can apply under that funding. Similarly, another is the imprint. Imprint is also not suitable for us. The purpose of the imprint is to translation of the knowledge, research knowledge into viable product or process. That is the aim of the imprint, and then such schemes are not very suitable for. Then the CRB star is there. If you have if you have conducted one CRG scheme or one then, and your performance under the CRG scheme is very good, then you can apply for this project. This is actually an award. If you are awarded, you will get a research support again. So that is the nature of the SCRB star. So going to the major schemes, these are the useful scheme. One is TAIR, second is the Power Fellowship, and the Startup Grant, Core Research Grant. Then Metrics is there. Regarding the Metrics, Metrics is a good scheme, primarily targeting the mathematical teachers. I will tell you about the Metrics, because not only mathematical teachers, even the faculty members in a social science, if they are carrying out any mathematical or statistical or research using computational techniques, they can apply for this research grant under Metrics. And they will be offering, in the use of Metrics, there will not be any fellow. This is a scheme completely different from all other funding schemes. Here, they will give you a research grant of 2 lakhs per year, and they'll give it for a duration of 3 years. There is one condition, and submission of the proposal is also very easy. You don't need to send a very detailed proposal. You only need to send a 2-page mathematical or theoretical proposal. So unlike other funding schemes, the metric scheme is completely different. You don't have to make it a 20-page proposal. Only you need to page 1-page or 2-page proposal only, and in that you have to tell what are your main grant. And if you get a metrics grant, you will be able to buy textbooks. You can purchase a laptop, work software, and you can also get travel support. If you want to attend a national or international conference, you can use that amount for travel support. Then collaborative visit in India. So this is a very useful scheme if you are working in a mathematical or a statistical science. And even social science scientists can also apply, but your work should be having some kind of statistical or computational side. Then only we can send an application under the metrics. I have seen that some of the teachers in Kerala got this research support in metrics. So that is a very good scheme. So going to the major schemes, I told you, one is startup grant, second is CR. This is the best grant because there is no financial limit, there is no subject limitation. Anybody can send application, and anybody in science can send application in this area. And this is for SCST, and this is for mathematical people. And power grant and power fellowship are for the women faculty members. And teacher tier, purpose of the tier, as I have already told you, is to promote research among the teaching faculty. So these are the major awards of the SERP. Now the next funding agency is the Indian Council of Social Research. Now going to the humanities or language area, there are very few funding agency in India. Earlier there was UGC. Now UGC is now half dead. And instead of UGC, that government said RUSA will be coming, and RUSA is not now. RUSA is only a half-born state. So because of that, there is no funding from either UGC or from the RUSA, and the teachers are the teaching faculties are not mostly abandoned. I would say. So in the use of this ICSSR, there are many teachers in Kerala. For example, in MA college, there are few teachers who got research funding under ICSSR. You can under diverse field, you can see what all subject they have. Even for commerce faculty, they can apply for the research funding of the Indian Council of Social Science. Now going to the Indian Council ICSSR schemes, they have 3 schemes. One scheme is the research program, and second is the major research program, and third is the minor research program. These are the 3 different schemes of the different schemes of the Indian Council of Social Science. Now in the use of the research program, the research proposal should be in a multidisciplinary area, or not only multidisciplinary, it should be inter-institutional studies. So nowadays, most of the research are supporting multidisciplinary proposal, or proposal involving investigate from 2 or 3 institutes. Now normally this is one area where we are facing a lot of obstacles. So if we have a collaboration with the teachers of another institute, and you both together write a proposal and send them, there is high chance. So research program under the ICSSR will offer you research support up to 50 lakhs, and the duration will be 2 years only. In the use of SERB, it is 3 years. Here their major research project is only up to the duration of either 1 year or 2 years. Then second type of support research grant provided by ICSSR is a major scheme as well as minor scheme. If it is a major project, they will give you, the duration is 24 months or 2 years. The amount of support they are offering is 5 lakh to 15 lakh. Then if it is a minor project, the duration allowed is only 1 year, and you will get a research support up to the amount of 5 lakh. So that is the different schemes of ICSSR, and the importance of ICSSR is that as I earlier told you, there are very few funding agency for humanities and also for and language faculty. And if you compare the research grant available to science faculty and research grant available to social science and other and humanities group, it's the humanities people have very less chance of getting a major research project. Even I have checked the website of most of the university in Kerala. Very few university professors also have major research project. So it's a because it's not easy, especially in languages. The UGC was the only agency that was offering research support to the humanities and language teachers. But there are few schemes like a few funding agency like ICSSR. They also offer support. As I told you, there are a number of colleges in Kerala which got funding from ICSSR. That's why this is one agency which you can depend. Now nowadays UGC is not offering any kind of financial funding support. This is the only agency you can depend. Now, after another than ICSSR, there is one more agency. There is another agency is the Kerala State Committee on Science, Technology and Environment. Just like that, there is in every state, for example, Tamil Nadu, in every state of India, there is a similar organization that will be offering research support. In the use of this KSCSTE, their primary scheme is the Science Research Scheme. Under the science research scheme, they will be offering funding support of 30 lakhs or more. Then the duration is 3 years. It is almost like the CRG scheme that I was discussing earlier. Then there are two schemes which are targeting specific group of people. For example, for engineering people, they can send an application on our ETP program. Or for the people who are working in biodiversity, environment or ecology area, they can also apply a funding under this scheme that will offer you a support up to 30 lakhs. And the other areas of the funding, like there will be fellow and the fellowship is are all same, but the funding will be limited to 30 lakhs. Now another is the SARD. If you go to the SARD scheme, the advantage of SARD scheme is that SARD is basically for the improving the infrastructure of the department, and they will be offering you a amount of up to 40 lakhs for a period of 3 years. You don't need to send a proposal just like a major research proposal, but there is a proposal showing how you are going to utilize this equipment in a research area. How that is just like other funding mechanism. In the use of other funding area, you will be submitting a proposal on a specific topic. That is not the case as in the use of SAR. SAR is primarily for improving the infrastructure of a department. So there are few colleges in Kerala which have received funding under the SARD scheme. So SARD is Selective Augmentation of Research and Development. This is a scheme which if 2-3 teachers of your department together plan, and you can easily send an application under the SARD scheme. And this is a scheme by the Kerala State Science, Technology and Environment Committee. So this is the nature of the SARD scheme. Now I am coming to another is the STRIDE. Going to the STRIDE, I told you UGC was earlier giving you a lot of financial support under the major research project. Now they have stopped it. Now there is only one scheme, and that scheme is a STRIDE, and there is also BSR scheme. Both are not easy because they are not calling every year. The last call was in 2009, and there was one college in Kerala, for example, the Newman College. They received an amount of 1 crore, and they submitted a proposal like this: the sustainable initiative in the Western Ghats in Idukki district. To address the sustainable issues in Idukki region in the backdrop of Gadgil, Kasturi Rangan and Women Committee report. So this kind of a multidisciplinary study you have to submit. Then they will be offering you a research support up to the amount of 1 crore. There are 3 components in the STRIDE scheme. The one is a component 1, it is a 3-year period. they will be offering support up to the amount of 1 crore. Going to the component 2, it is also transdisciplinary studies. Then, but mainly this STRIDE scheme is targeting humanities area, because you can see what are for the science faculty, this STRIDE scheme is not very suitable. But even though they are saying that all discipline, their primary target group is humanities or human sciences. Then under the component 2, they will be offering a grant up to the amount of 50 lakhs. Then under component 3, they will be offering support up to 5 crore. But there is a limit. For one institution, they will be giving only 1 crore. So if you have if there is a tie-up with the 5 institution, you can submit a proposal of transdisciplinary, interdisciplinary nature to under the component 3. Now there are few other features of the STRIDE scheme. Basically the first scheme, that is the component 1. The component 1 is the easiest scheme of the STRIDE scheme, and the Newman College received the funding under the component 1. Under this scheme, UG and PG students may be selected, and for these UG and PG students, we can offer a fellowship, a limited fellowship, and they will be allowed to participate in national conferences, and they will be motivated to prepare research papers and submit in specialized journals, and they will be also have to undertake a field study for a period of 2 months. So these are the then in addition to fellowship for the students of degree and PG, they will also offer research fellowship to newly joined young faculty members. That is why STRIDE scheme is a good thing. So fellowship to the students and fellowship to the newly recruited faculty. They will be obtaining this kind of, and small amount of startup grants are also offered under the STRIDE. But the total funding limit is 1 crore. And the problem with the STRIDE scheme is that it should be transdisciplinary in nature. One person from Newman College told me that they submitted a proposal by combining with around 9 faculty. It's a group of 9 teachers are involved in the proposal preparation of the STRIDE. So only if teachers from several departments come together and offer and bring out a research proposal of this nature, you will be able to apply under the STRIDE scheme. Newman College is a college in the rural area. So if they can get a scheme like this, it is possible for colleges of teachers of other colleges also in Kerala to get it. Because the problem is that very few teachers know about these kind of mechanisms, these kind of funding things. So, and another problem which we usually face, even if we know about this funding, then the collaborating with the other teachers, faculties of other subject is not always easy. So there should be a mechanism in every college in which everybody in the college must understand what other person is doing, what are the topics of other person. Then only you will be able to bring out project of multidisciplinary nature. So because nowadays government is focusing more on multidisciplinary research, and also transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary. These are the areas government give high priority. So that is regarding the component 1, so these are the important features. So then regarding the component 2 and component 3, it is not so easy to get, but regarding component 1, it is much more easier to get under the STRIDE scheme. Now there is another scheme of the UGC, and in the use of this is a BSR scheme, Basic Science Research, or otherwise known as UGC Faculty Research Promotion Scheme. And this is not targeting the college teachers, only university teachers can apply for this scheme. But still I will tell you about, maybe in the future they may be also allowing college teachers also. But right now it is only for the university teachers. There are 3 levels of funding. One is the entry level, second is a mid-level faculty, then senior level. In this entry level, they will be offering a support up to the 10 lakhs. Now the second category, that is also 10 lakhs, and for the senior faculty, it is 5 lakhs each year. So this is the basic. Now in the use of this BSR fellowship, for the first grant, that is startup grant, you should have a PhD. and you should have minimum 5 research publication in international journals with impact factor. Only science faculty can apply under the BSR because basic science research fellowship is that. Humanities or language people cannot apply. And the other problem is that you should apply immediately. Within a period of 1 year from the date of joining the university, you have to apply. So that is so that you can get a fund up to the amount of 10 lakhs. Now for the second category is still more difficult. You should have supervised the PhD of 10 full-time candidates. If you have done the PhD, supervised 10 part-time candidates, there is no value in that. So only if you supervise 10 full-time candidates, 3 of whom should be in the last 5 years. So if you want to apply under the mid-career award, you should have minimum 10 PhD students who have completed research. Then another condition of the mid-career award is that you should have completed 5 sponsored research. That is, they have not mentioned clearly whether it is major or minor, but you should have at least 5 sponsored research projects. And the cumulative total impact factor of your publication should be minimum 30. So 30 should be the total impact factor of the your publication. Then there is one more condition: you should have minimum 3 years left in the university for your retirement. So these are the conditions on mid-career award. Then going to the faculty last category, that is BSR faculty fellowship. You should have 15 students who have completed PhD. And in case of engineering, they are giving a concession that only 10 students are there. That also full-time candidates. So whenever you are taking PhD students, always think of this. There is no purpose in taking part-time students. Only full-time students are useful if you want to apply for this kind of funding. And here, if the second is that about your publication, the total impact factor should be 50. Then and you should have 3 sponsored research project and in the last 10 years and 1 year left to the your date of retirement. So these are the major schemes of the BSR scheme. The problem with the BSR scheme is that even though it is a good scheme, it is not available it is not available for teachers of colleges. But maybe in future, it's a scheme of the UGC. Maybe in future they may also extend it to, okay, if they are extending to college teachers, it is good. Then next I will talk about travel grant. Why I have placed the travel grant or give so much importance to travel grant is that this is a grant which is much more easier to get. And this grant helps you to travel to another country or a foreign country and present your research paper. If you have received this travel grant, it will significantly improve your chance of getting a funding under CRG or other major research grant. So very few teachers are actually knowing about this kind of travel grant. And this is one of the easiest grant. For example, UGC travel grant. If you getting UGC travel grant, that will offer you full complete airfare. In addition to airfare, UGC will normally give you around $100 per day. That means if you are going for a conference of 4 days in duration, and they will give you 2 days before and 2 days after. That means for 8 days you will get $100 each. That itself will come to $800. Plus they will give you registration fee and they will also give you the airfare. So when I have received this travel grant 3 times. So last time I went to China and I had to spend around 70,000 in total, and I received around 95,000. And the balance 25,000 I spent for going to another country next year. I went to Thailand next year. So getting a UGC travel grant is always good. But that is one of the, in the case of travel grant, UGC travel grant is the best travel grant because they give you more than what you spend. Now, but the problem is that you have to spend all amount from your pocket at the time of travel, and UGC may be giving you this amount after 1 year, sometimes after 2 years. That problem is there with the UGC always. But there is another funding agency known as DST. DST is very quick. If you go for utilizing DST funding travel grant, DST will only give you airfare. For younger faculty, they may also offer you registration fee, but for most of the teachers are only eligible for DST airfare. But advantage of DST is that it is completely online. Once you come back within 1 month, you will receive the amount. So that's a very good. I have received when I went to America once. I received the amount within 1 month itself. Whereas in the ISO UGC, I have to wait for 2 years. Then only UGC will give you the amount. So that problem is there between UGC and DST. That's why I always say that DST is the best funding agency. Now for humanities people, they have two schemes. One scheme is by Indian Council of Social Science Research. Other is by the Indian Council of Cultural Relation. They also offer travel grant, both these agency. And they so ICSSR travel grant, they will give you full fare. And even for PhD holder, but you should have PhD. That's one condition of Indian Council of Cultural Relationship. Then and utilizing that, you can attend any conference abroad. You not only conference, even if it is a cultural event, you can still go for that. Now under the ICSSR scheme, they will give you only 50% of the total cost plus registration fee up to the amount of 200. But sometimes for most of the conferences, the registration amount may be 250 or 350 or $400. But that means, but for different agencies, for different conferences, it may vary. But usually, what I have seen it is about $250 in the use of science. Then DBT also offers travel grant, but the subject area should be biotechnology. And CSIR also have a scheme. And even college teachers can also apply under the CSIR scheme, and they will give you complete full airfare, and no other expenditure is allowed actually. So airfare you can get. Then NBH actually is a scheme for mathematical teachers, National Board for Higher Mathematics, that is NBHM. It is an agency under Department of Atomic Energy. Under the Department of for mathematical teachers, you can apply for this scheme. Now why I am giving so much importance to travel grant is that travel grant is one of the important scheme. It is a scheme by which you can secure a research funding, because once you get a travel grant, you may be able to go abroad. So it will improve the quality of your CV, the merit of your CV. The experts will always taking what are your international experience, what is your international exposure, what is your chance for having a collaboration with an international scientist. So if you have this kind of foreign, if you have participation in a foreign conference, you can definitely prove that you have enough experience, you have enough exposure, so that you will be able to present the findings or output of your research funding, research project in conferences abroad. So that is why the public, for example, from my experience, I understood that going for a conference abroad is much more easier than publishing a paper in a high impact journal. So and the call, because if you don't have enough number of papers in high impact journals, then you do this thing. You try to improve the merit of your CV by participating in more number of international conferences. So that will improve your chance of funding, and also it will give you a lot of contacts with the foreign scientists. And the foreign scientists always have nature. Unless you know them personally, they are not going to support you or recommend you for anything. That's a no. That is the basic problem. They want to know you in person. Otherwise, they will not support you for anything. So by going for conferences abroad, you can definitely improve your chance of getting a research fund. So this is my guide always used to say that you should always go there. And because of that, I have visited so many countries, and always I have received travel grant from UG 3 times. From DSC I got 2 times. So by utilizing this kind of travel grant, we may not be able to get complete funding. Only from UGC we will get complete funding or more than what you spend. From other funding agency, they will only give you the flight fare. Some amount you have to spend from your pocket always. Still, spending that amount from your pocket is still worth. That is increasing your chance of getting, and it also give you a lot of exposure. Then going to the CSIR funding. CSIR funding, they have a problem. Only very few teachers got CSIR funding. I have seen in the case of, I think in MA college there is one teacher who got CSIR funding. The problem with the CSIR is that, and we should be working in an area which is of relevance to the CSIR laboratory. Only we have a tie-up with the CSIR laboratory, they will be going, they will fund you. Otherwise, they will not be going to fund you. So that is the problem. And in the case of Kerala, there is only one CSIR laboratory, that is in Trivandrum. So giving a proposal under CSIR scheme is not so easy. You should have a tie-up with the CSIR laboratory or a scientist in a CSIR, and your proposal or area of research should be of relevance to the research program of CSIR laboratory. Then only they will offer you support. Then ICSR also has the same problem. Only if you tie up with an ICAR research institute. For example, my guide has a project on by ICAR. What he did was that he was working in Tevra College. He made a contact with a scientist professor in agriculture college, agriculture university, and with the help of and together they sent an application, and part of the fund came to Tevra College and part of the fund go to Kerala Agriculture University. So that is so only if you are giving a proposal in the with a multiple investigator, or there should be an investigator from ICAR laboratory, then only they will be considering you for the ICAR grant. Then another is the earlier I told you is the Board of Research in Nuclear Science. I don't know how many I don't know what is the chance of funding. I have not seen anybody got the funding from them, but they have good schemes are there. And those who are working in areas of nuclear science, maybe that's chances less, but there are maybe some physical teachers, physics teachers of physics faculty, they can also apply. There is a normal project, for example, a major research project of 3 years. Then there is Young Scientist Award, and purpose of Young Scientist Award is to attract the NRI scientists to come and work in the country. And there is also 35 years. The age limit is 30. And this is I don't think anybody will take it. Those who are working abroad will come to India for working. I don't think that is going to. It is only a dream of there. Then the another is the Scientific Research Council Award. In the case of scientific research account, they will give you 1 crore up to a period of 5 years. In addition, they will give incentive of 25,000 in addition to salary. So that is a good scheme. If you are in an area working in nuclear sciences, this is a good, because regarding most of the other funding with regard to other funding agency, when we are doing a major research project, the investigator does not get anything. He has to spend his extra time, extra effort, and in return nothing, no financial benefit is there. But this is a scheme which give you up to 25,000 per month. So that is the scheme of the Board of Research in Nuclear Science. Now ISRO. Regarding ISRO, when I was checking the website of Kerala University, I found one physics teacher there got an research project from ISRO. And there may be other colleges or the other and other scientists also, but getting a research grant from ISRO may not be as easy from as you are getting from SERB. And if you want to get, you have to apply in an area like an area of space science, space technology, or space application. In some time recently, few colleges in Kerala like St. Albert's College, they have started courses in space science. So if for such faculty, it is always good to apply for. They have two scheme respond project, and even for retired faculty they can apply. So that is the scheme of the ISRO. Then similarly for the physics teachers or people working in electronics area, there is a scheme of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. They have one scheme called Multiplier Grant Scheme. And under this scheme, what you have to do is that there should be for example, you have a tie-up with the Keletron. or you have or another electronic industry, and you are the purpose of your project is development of a product. So Keletron is offering you a support of 10 lakhs. Then government of India under Ministry of Electronics, they will give you 20 lakhs. So that is the nature of this scheme. That is a multiplier grant scheme. But it should be for the development of some product useful, some useful product. Then only government will electronic product. Then only government will fund under the multiplier grant scheme. And so this is for people working in physics or electronics or such areas can utilize this kind of multiplier grant. Then going to the mathematics, there is a National Board of Higher Mathematics. In this National Board of Higher Mathematics, they have three types of grant. One is a regular research project. And you can, if you go to this site, you can get the details of that. Then travel grant I have already explained. Then teacher fellowship. Then means if you are a regular teacher and you have registered for a PhD, and they will offer you a limited support. For some scheme it is only 1,000. For some schemes it is up to 5,000. So that kind of awards are there. And this National Board of Higher Mathematics is actually an agency under the Department of Atomic Energy. So they will also give you support for short-term visit. So these are some of the schemes which are available to mathematics teachers of mathematics.